Hello, and welcome to my Sunday from. So today I have a mukbang and I have a Salisbury Steak mukbang. So I have mixed vegetables and I cooked them with the noodles, but they separated, so I just served them like that. And I have a piece of bread. So that's ramen, cup of noodles, Salisbury steak, and mixed vegetables, frozen mixed vegetables. Which, like I said, I cooked them in the noodles, but you can't even tell. And then I have this blood orange pure cake that I'm dying to try. That tastes just like Kool-Aid. Oh, that is good. That citrus hits me afterwards. It's so good, guys. I love it. It's called Pure Kick Blood Orange. I think it's electrolytes. That's the only reason I bought it. And it's $1. I love blood orange, but I only bought it because it's $1 and it's electrolytes. Stay hydrated this winter. But everything's nice and seasoned. Hopefully, I post my behind the scenes. So, let's try the Salisbury steak, which I'll show you how I made it in the shorts. Mmm, that is so good. Mmm. Wow, that is super good. Mmm. It tastes like something you would eat in Texas, like a steakhouse. Nobody even heard about. Have you ever been to one? In Texas, somewhere in Texas. Mm, that's so good. You know that lady that was following me that called me Carol Baskin? Because, like, I like to save animals or whatever. You know what? I think she taints food because why was she hanging around? Like, why was she hanging around schools? And why was she hanging around everywhere that I ate? Like, as an adult, I noticed, like, everywhere I ate. Because, like, if you think about it, if she hung around schools when I was a kid, and she still does, you only see her if there's, like, some type of kiosk or food place that I'm going to hit up near school. So would it be crazy that she's tainting our food? So, like, I put two and two together, and I'm not gonna mention any names, but I just feel like our boy, one of one of the people that I do work with still today, he kept getting sick from COVID, and we eat at the same spots. Like, all of us eat the same foods, we eat at the same joints, you know, like anything that event, if we go to a same event and there's food there, we're gonna pick the same food. So 9 times out of 10, you know what I'm saying? We're all gonna feel a certain amount of illness if one of us, you know, is getting this, illness from their food. We're all gonna have felt it, and I feel like that's a lot of people in the red pill community. So that's my concern. Like, this lady, she was, because it was a teen clerk, store clerk, right? And like, automatically she gave me ick vibes. And then the kid was like, hold on. And I was like, they always say hold on when the food is, you know, weird looking and smells funny. And, like it has texture or it's fishy. And I'm sorry, but like, I go to places that I know feed you healthy food, even if it's junk food. They make sure they get you, like, because, let me tell you, our people don't play around about food. When they cook, even if it's frozen, it's going to be tasting real good. So I'm like, that lady, was she, you know, do you consider that like suspicious by her trying to film me on live stream and call me Carol Baskin and berate me and bully me? And, that's a hate crime. Let's just cut to the bullshit. So, and then like her luring that teen kid to do something bad to me. And I'm pretty sure he was debating, like, if I serve her this and she gets sick, it's going to be my fault. Do I serve it to her anyway, even if I don't know for sure it's going to make her sick? You know, maybe he was debating that. But one thing for sure, he didn't get me right away, and they always never get me right away. And I was like, I'm not going to help you make me ill when that's one of my top priorities this whole past 5 years. This started in Texas, where I met her, by the way. And now we're here. So, you know, I'm in Ohio. Like, what is she doing in Ohio? What is she doing in Ohio? Why is she filming me? Why did she follow me for what, 20 years, 30 years? Like, she ain't even hitting on Letourneau, where I can get a child out of this. Like, this bitch is 100%, you know, 100% terroristic. So, I don't know. I think I really need to make sure that my next steps are very well documented. So there's that. The only thing I haven't done is catch her doing it. You know what I mean? Like, it's so crazy. But if you think about it, like, is there a way that she maybe saw my mom was, raising me and like came and stalked her and ended up, you know, finding it easy to target me? So it could have been that. And she just right away thought, you know, and she still thinks of me as that kid. It could be that. Because how does she know this neighborhood? And I'm thinking, you know how many things happen when you're a kid that you remember that were horrible memories, and the people, you know, that perpetrated them. So there had to be a before that. And I'm thinking, gosh, my mom took me to every freaking event. Like, if there was elite people to be there, like, she would take me to all the events. And, you know, I was doing pageants, modeling, dancing, acting, you know. Like I said, by the time I was 16, I had 2 contracts. I had WWF and I had a record label. But obviously, I ended up. I won a Grammy anyway. I didn't come up with an album. That's the only thing I haven't done yet is come out with an album. Because I already did Lucha Libre. And, you know, have another, you know, whole nother path that I walked. But that's one of the things that, you know, drives me nuts is that, you know, kids are so vulnerable. And you would think kids will sit there and be like, no, this guy did this and it was wrong. And he did it to me and I didn't feel good and it was bad and I, you know, felt really bad. It made me feel bad and I don't like, you know, I don't like what happened and, you know, that's why we watch. That's why we're always on the lookout for that stuff. To see if there's signs, you know, changes and stuff going on in their life. Like, you know, because maybe a kid will by miracle of Jesus, but if you make children feel bad, they just kind of close up. It doesn't have to be you. If they feel even energy, or if they feel energy, they feel under attack. And some, you know, in some instances, people they just cave. And, you know, they're just people. They're just, you know, their numbers are very small. You know, they're very delicate. I think if they feel the energy alone, like I said, they could cave. If something happens to them, they'll just close off like a clamp to the world. But if they sense something, you know, and they're not gonna understand why. I mean, even if they did, they just, you know, they're just kids. They'll automatically, you know, feel all the ways imaginable. And you know how they say kids only know black and white. It's so important that you remember that, because not only do they only feel black and white, but having that mindset makes them vulnerable, you know, to not just know black and white, but feel everything. So, you know, I know we know fact and fiction, and we can decide and judge for ourselves. They don't, it's not like that with them. They know black and white, but feel everything. They can easily internalize it, because why? Because they don't have as much big vocabulary and communication skills as we do. You know, big people, we have what we call wisdoms. You know, we learn and grow. We're human beings, and they're very much human beings, but how many years have they grown and learned? You know, and even if you crammed all that by, you know, teaching them, you know, hood knowledge, you know, if they were exposed to the life of the streets, or, you know, somebody came in and introduced them, to a gutter lifestyle, well, you know what I mean? They still wouldn't learn because they don't have, what normalcy and stability teaches, you see. There's no rule there. So they can't learn actions and consequence, you see, in a healthy environment, in a safe space. I'd say, a spot that they would thrive in growth in, And I guess I can take from my experience and learn and grow and be educated on weirdos now, but that's just one weirdo. And boy, does she want to live in my mind rent free because she's always around? You don't even have to think about her, she'll be there. But at first I thought she was just like a regular white lady, but she has like a accent. Like a regular white lady that is dark complected, like Brie Olsen. She's just a regular white lady. That guy that she shows a picture of? I think he's like a Hollywood star. Like Hollywood stunt double or something. That obviously, how they have like cholos and stuff like that. They have ties to like mob or, some type of terrorist group or, not just cartel, like real life stuff. Like extras you can just pull off the street and hire if they have some type of knowledge. But I'm talking about a real Hollywood star. Like that's how I think she got clout. And you know what? An update on Ashley Vigneault. Ashley Vigneault actually got accused of child pornography, much like Brie Olsen brags about her child pornography stuff. Ashley Vigneault actually finally got charged for it. It's just a matter of time until it catches up to these people. Because that whole group is, it's a wiry hair in my butt. In my opinion, it shouldn't be seen in any other way. It shouldn't be glorified, glamorized, or simp for. Like, I hate to say it, but like, some people are like just ungrateful. They expect all the things, that they tell people, no, I didn't want that. And actually, they did. They wanted everything and everything you had and then some, and stuff that they didn't earn. But I just like that whole group. When they have beef, inner beef, like I said, it's a scale. I always tell you, people that know the gutter life, that's all they know. They come to love and enjoy it because eventually it falls on the, it falls on the heads of the people, the public, and they're the ones who have to pay for it at the end. They can afford it by getting kicks off of them, It's free entertainment. How much do you pay for entertainment every year? Think about it. It's free entertainment for them. So obviously they would do it. So, I mean, I have like zero tolerance when people accuse me of being a part of something that I'm not, and try to wash your hands clean of stuff that they're obviously into. By whom I'm talking about, J2K, an unknown Instagram rapper. aka Brisa. And that gets funny that you deny that you wrote a song with Santo Salazar, narcotraficante, who your homeboy you passed on your baby mama to. And then you expect her back. Is funny. But I'm not going to hold y'all up. I just wanted to, I guess, just acknowledge that, you know, like I said, in healthy environments, kids can learn things. Like I said, they can learn, you know, from hardships, but they won't understand, you know, what is reality? What is having better? You know, a lot of us struggle with that because, you know, for whatever reasons, maybe even the fact that you had to struggle through something in life, not just in childhood, but in life in general, or have something going on right now. And, but like for kids, it's 100% worse. And, yeah, I think, you know, me clearing my name and all this stuff, like, it shouldn't even need to be said. Like, I have a reputation, and I'm not going to tolerate people undermining my work, my activism, or demeaning me in any way, affecting my brand, my public image, or my ability to activate within my community. I serve the Black community, but I'm not solely invested in any type of self-promotion or self-preservation or glorifying any of these people in any shape or form. I think what needs to be done needs to be, the wrongs need to be righted to all the right children. And in these instances, like I said, all the right people, you know, period. You know, I look out for as many people as I can, and I can afford to because I have a solid rap. I have a solid reputation, and I do things with my whole heart, my wholehearted chest. Even like I could tell you, I'm not gonna back down from any fight. I'm not gonna back down from anything I ever said when I was standing firmly, saying it with, you know, my 10 toes on the ground. I think there needs to be a lot to be learned by the people who have, you know, been, you know, so sheltered, you know, in their life, I think. And I say that in a general sense. I don't mean anything, you know, bad. Like, I don't mean like, you know, you come from the suburbs or whatever. Y'all think that's a bad thing. But I mean, like, you live like a life where there's not much to be done. Like, you come to work or you come to find out things about what's going on in your neighborhood, or even, you know, they tell you in church what's going on. And, you know, people don't really talk much about stuff. But it's not your fault. I don't think it's your fault. I think a lot of people feel like if you talk about it, it's going to be real. And then you're going to have feelings. And then you're probably going to react and respond with emotions. And I feel like you should have emotions when you hear things. You should feel through them. You should respond and react accordingly, promptly. If that's you, if you're in that position. And, you know, hear the case, like I said, I'm not going to hold you, but I don't feel like everything was heartfelt that was said. I don't think it was thoughtful. I don't think it was mindful of children at all. And I want that to be probably, if you take anything from this video, I think that's what you should take from it. You know, all these people I talk about, I don't really feel like really, you know, have children in their best interest. Like, you know, and you know what I'm saying? There's some people that don't really, you know, they don't want kids, or like Santos don't even want his own kids. Santos Salazar don't even want his own kids. But I feel like that's probably going to end up being a some type of, you know, reflection of the mother, and that's not how I meant it. But anyway, you know, you never know with the public. That's how everybody perceives things. And I mean, I doubt anything I have to say is going to change anything. But yeah, thoughts and prayers to anybody affected by anything I said today. I really, really do pray about this stuff. And I'm mindful in my work, and also when I become activated, I make sure that I'm nailing it. And, you know, I try to continue to do better every single day. And I always will. But yeah, that's a crazy case. The food stuff, it's a crazy thing. And hopefully I see results from, you know, taking action against it. And if I do, I'll let you guys know updates on that. And because like I said, I think, you know, as fans of the red pill, you probably gonna worry. But I mean, I've told you before a little bit about it. A little bit. And you guys have seen us, like, sometimes we don't feel well, but don't worry, we're gonna clean this place up. Like, Price Hill is one place that you don't want to mess with. Like, when it comes to our neighborhood, we're very, very tight knit, and we all feel like members of the same community. It's always been that way. Thank you guys for watching. I finished my plate. Finally, I finished my plate. Like, how do you like that? And my drink's almost done, so I'm gonna finish this, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching my Sunday front. Okay.